Hello everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today, or right now, I'm going to be talking about the updates before I cover anything else. Gem balance adjustments, or game balance adjustments. I keep saying balance adjustments. I'm not sure if they updated this or they gave them Awakening. No, they didn't give them Awakening. They updated this. Either way, they have new Awakening. These guild raid monsters, if you want to know how to achieve them, a week before the guild raid, they will have guild raid practice. All you gotta do is attend, and you will be at the very end. There will be flip cards, right? And when you hit these flip cards, the higher the difficulty you go, the more guild tokens will appear in the flip cards. So you'll be able, the number amount will increase, the max number amount, and how many there will be in the guild cards will increase as well. So you'll have a higher chance of getting more and a higher chance of getting them in general. The higher the difficulty you go will be. So keep that in mind, and I think you only can do guild raids like once per day, so also keep that in mind. So they added those adjustments to this game, but they cost like orbs to actually upgrade, so I'm not very sure myself. Anyways, going on from there, they also added Awakening for Aquarius. Now, I've been waiting for this ever since I got Aquarius, and they added Awakening for Spica as well, too. Keep in mind that they're going to be adding Awakening for all 34 costs. So that means if you got Tourbillon or you got Lancelot, just wait a while, and they will be adding Awakening to those as well. It will happen guaranteed, trust me. It will happen guaranteed. So you don't have to really worry about that all too much. Alrighty, so going on from there, they added the Mobius path back. Mobius path can be useful for Awakening. Keep in mind that this gear will be all up to date. It is now cost 36. They had this for a couple months, so it's something kind of new to the game. So they do have the stats up to date, and they offer one of the a skill that's kind of a must-have. They offer the magic attack and attack of like whatever class you're using. So if you're using this class, is like staffs. And then this class is like lances and scythes. And the other class is like bows and guns for like the archer and stuff like that. So they offer more gear score, and they offer pretty much a lot of it on top of that. So keep in mind, very good to have. And you pretty much want it in pretty much every set that you're going to be using that's DPS wise at least. So that's a reason you should farm Mobius path if you are confused or you don't know what to use the medals on, because a lot of this stuff is going to be outdated, and I do not recommend touching it for the Mobius path at all. I mean, yeah, for the Mobius medals at all, I do not recommend touching any of this stuff except maybe the furniture, but that's after you're done with Awakening. I don't want you to do that until you're done with Awakening. You can earn furniture from furniture spawns, so don't worry about it. Honestly, don't worry about it. Alrighty, next thing they have, Jewel of the Seven Dragons, Dark Animus Dragon. This quest is going to be extremely hard. You probably want to have as much light defense and light offense as possible. I have a decent amount of light defense. My light defense is almost at like 100 or something. I have no clue if that's good or not, but I know that's not like super bad. So there's something I could be working with right there. Keep in mind that this quest is going to be for these spots. So even though they say it's like 300k, just because you're 400k, you don't want to join. I'm not even sure if 500k is a safe number, but I see a lot of 500k. So I'm assuming 500k pluses are a safe number, with a few good monsters as an exception. So keep that in mind. You want to have a few good monsters that are light and star, because those are the only monsters that will work. Also, if you have monsters that are not light and star, that means you can't use them, and you can't reroll your light and stars. So this is really going to be a hard one to do. It really is. If you want to use Unisons over and over, all your monsters have to be light or star, so that way you can use them. As for the player buffs nullified, it only counts for the regular buffs. Whether you're getting the card from Keshin, the light commander, or you're getting Awakening from Aquarius or whatever monster you're using, or you're getting Beast, or you're getting Hero, all those other buffs are not nullified. We used Awakening before, as you can see in the picture that I just showed you right now, during the event. So Awakening definitely isn't nullified. If Awakening is nullified, then it wouldn't have popped up. So keep that in mind. The only buffs that are really, you can't really have are the regular buffs. Some of you might argue, but I've seen somebody have those. Well, this is a thing called Kismet, and it'll flip the debuffs that the enemy gives you into buffs. So That's how they got their regular buffs. Other than that, they cannot attain their regular buffs naturally through monsters or whatever they're using. They can't add that magic attack or attack that monster might have. They have to use Awakening, Beast, Hero, or some form of Kismet when the monster debuffs you. So keep that in mind. And this is going to be a really hard quest. So again, I don't really recommend even 400k to even touch the lowest level. Alrighty, so besides that, they have the Autumn Campaign. The Autumn Campaign's back, so you get that one free time of day gem spawn. That's pretty nice. And they have the Awakening Orb pieces for every day as well. So that is very nice as well. Personally, for me, that is very helpful because I'm going to need a lot of more Awakening Orbs very soon. And then they added the pets. Pets are finally here. To hatch an egg, it's going to be based on XP earned from a quest divided by 10. And then the number you get from that will be how much seconds pass by for the egg. If you don't know what I'm talking about right here, it will take time to hatch the egg, and that time to hatch the egg will be based on your XP. Again, the formula I just showed you, the XP earned divided by 10, will be pretty much how much seconds pass by. So keep that in mind while hatching an egg. I just want to get that out of the way for everybody right now, so that way you know how to hatch an egg and how much time it will take. If you don't know, honestly, just use your calculator. It will help a lot. Just write down the numbers and use your calculator. Probably do a super XP quest key with a gem booster and probably get it down to like 4 hours. Just one quest. Anyways, going on from there. You can feed your lemon fruit to increase its stats. There's the attack, defense, magic attack, and magic defense fruit. Stats cannot be reverted once they are raised, so think about your decisions before you feed your lemon. Your lemon will change its appearance at level 5 and level 10, and then after level 10 it will learn, after level 10, your lemon will learn a new ability every 5 levels, but it can only learn 3 abilities, so keep that in mind. If you have a 4th ability, you're going to have to forget 1 ability. If you don't forget 1 ability, then you can't have that 4th ability, so keep that in mind. As for the fullness gauge, I'm not sure how the fullness gauge exactly works, but they tell you pretty much how to keep it steady and what to look for. Fullness gauge empties 1 by 1 every 4 hours. Attempting quests will decrease the amount of time required to get hungry by little. And their fullness gauge hits 5. Every time you feed a lemon fruit, its fullness gauge will get increased by 1. At 5, they won't be able to eat anymore. I think that's the only issue, is they want to add like time before you actually can increase your lemon stats. And then each and every week, pet celebration login bonus is underway. Fruit will change each and every week given for the login bonuses in this order. Apparently, this might change as well, so keep that in mind. And then they give you some stuff right here to keep in mind as well. So they can't be used in player versus player things. So I would find that helpful at first. Now I don't really mind as much. I would say guild battles, probably you don't want that in, but other than that, I wouldn't really mind it because it's not too OP, it's not too game breaking, and it's not too meta. So that is very good. You can also chat with your little pet too to keep its affinity high. If you keep its affinity high, there is a higher chance that it will be able to use, its single abilities on everybody, not just you, but everybody in the party. So that is very good as well. Affinity gauge will decrease by 1 every 12 hours, so make sure you chat with your lemon frequently and constantly. On top of that, the affinity gauge will increase based on XP earned from quests divided by 10 again. Oh, I thought you were supposed to chat with them. You can chat and enjoy fun conversations with your lemon. Your lemon's affinity for you will change depending on how you answer. Try to be good friends with your lemon. Okay, so never mind on that. And then lemons have following characteristics. They are right here. It's sort of like Pokemon. The skills are sort of like Pokemon. The nature sort of like Pokemon. They already do this in Pokemon. They have been doing this ever since, I think, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. Not the new ones, but the old ones. They had what do they call them? Not personalities, characteristics, something along the line like that. Bashful, cheerful, and all that stuff. Except they had a little more. They had 4 of the neutral characteristics. This one doesn't, so this one's a lot more. You have to rely on RNG before you get one of the personalities that are neutral, because they only have one, and it's down here. It's called honest. Stats are unaffected, so that means there's no upward on like one stat, and there's no downward on the other stat. I think. Okay, yeah, so never mind. I think honest is actually a bad one. I was reading this wrong the whole time. My bad. So they increased by 50% for 1 arrow, and then increased by 150% for 2 arrows. So it is good to, I believe, get a actual nature that is based on the stat increase. My bad. I thought honest was actually going to be the neutral one and possibly the safest bet for you to have. And here are some abilities right here that your limit can use. I'm not exactly sure how all this works, but there's the self buff, there's the enemy debuff, and then there's the self heal, which is yet to be added. Now keep that in mind. With the affinity, the self buff and the enemy debuff, the enemy will debuff can be used on all enemies. I believe you keep your affinity high. And then the self buff can be used on all allies if you keep your affinity high by a high chance. These are not guaranteed, I believe, but they will happen at a higher chance. Keep that affinity high. During quests, your limit may perform 1 of the 3 abilities, and it knows when you use your own abilities. So you can only have one of these 3 out of all of those. The higher your limit's affinity for you, the higher chance of its abilities targeting all instead of single targeting quests. Your limit will support you in a 5-person quest such as Bane Quest, Subquest, and Event Quest, including Mobius Path. Each pet ability can only activate once per quest. If your pet knows 3 abilities, it has a chance to activate each ability once, totaling 3 abilities. And that's pretty much it for the pet. You can choose to show or hide your pet within chat lobby and guild lobby and results screen after completing a quest. So that is very nice as well. That's all I got for the pet feature. I don't really know too much about the pets, so there's that. I hope this helped out, and I will see you in the next video. This is the Azrath, and I'm out. Until next time, peace.